I stepped away from sports for a little while, but some of the stuff that's been happening, man, I got to get back to it. From NBA to NFL to evil Stephen A. So the UFC, Hunter Campbell, and I'm just cutting through the BS and saying what he's saying in a short form. Hunter Campbell's going to decide who's on drugs. Let that sink into your brain for a second. Hunter Campbell's going to decide who's on drugs. And he's going to pick this shady guy to the left of him to be the manager of that. Here's my question. The questions that people are afraid to ask Hunter, because if you ask Hunter and Dana these hard questions, you won't be invited back to ask questions. Even though I don't like Hawaii asks difficult questions and UFC gets pissed. So here's a couple of difficult questions. Hey, Hunter Campbell, I hear what you're saying, but if you approve Conor McGregor and somebody finds out 10 years later that he was on the needle, can they sue? Oh, no, I can't say that. Can they hold somebody liable? Because not only are you fighting a person that's on the needle to such a degree where they take punishment more, can last longer, all these good endurance type of things. Forget whether it makes them faster or not. They can take more punishment because they're on the needle. Can somebody be held liable? Or are you just going to blame this shady guy to your left and say you don't work with him no more? That was 5 years ago. Let me ask another question. Hey, Hunter Campbell. So you're going to decide who's on the needle and who's not. So how would you have caught John Jones all these years? Would you have let it slide because you want John Jones to be in the Hall of Fame as the greatest and it makes you more money that you promote John Jones as the greatest? Would you have looked past the needle? Oh, these are difficult questions. These are difficult questions. Hey, if you find out 5 years later that somebody got defeated and it cost them money while the person was on the needle and you approved them, can somebody be held liable? Because see, now this is why I've been telling you guys for a long time. This is not a sport. UFC is not a sport. It is a betting mechanism. Whoever got the most popular fan, who's ever most popular and got the most fans, that guy will fight the other guy who's most popular and has the most fans. It is not about best fights the best. I have been telling you guys that for years. This is a betting apparatus. It is not a sport. It is not a sport. When you go over to Bellator, PFL, and all the guys who don't have a fan following, they fight and they just happen to have a better skill set, fight skill set. UFC, and I learned this when Kobe Covington beat the Asian guy and Dana got upset. How are you going to kick a guy out who has an 8-fight winning streak? Because, quote, you beat a guy that we had plans for. The best don't fight the best. I learned that a long time ago when Dana said that to Kobe before he started acting all MAGA hat and Trump. Dana was going to kick him out for winning because Dana wanted that Vietnamese money He wanted that money that fighter was going to bring in from fans. That's when I said, oh, I see what it is now. That is best fights the best. So, and man, tomorrow, please, I hope you got a couple of minutes, man. I had to stop what I was doing I'm dropping this link, man. I don't know if you got time, but shit. I got to do more of this sports shit, man. If you can, man, tomorrow, come on up. But so Hunter is going to decide on, matter of fact, thank you, man, tomorrow for your intellectualism and knowing all sort of topics. We are a good ping pong tennis match, man. Thank you so much for coming up.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
So if you don't know, Hunter says they're going to get rid of USADA because USADA said, and I quote, hey, Conor needs about 6 more months in the pool. He's not approved. And you mad at that? Ain't that the way it's supposed to be, man, tomorrow? What you say?
Dude, this is entertainment, man. Entertainment has an orchestrated outcome.
I thought
this
they
is
said
not true competition.
It's not a true competition.
It's not a true competition. It never has been. I mean, does anybody think that Anderson Silva was the best fighter? No, he brought in all that international money.
Yeah,
that's why people was mad. That's why people was mad at that. They were mad at that he was doing that.
Yeah. All that untapped Brazil money just came flowing in, seats and bets
to build the sport. And once they got it full to the point to where all like the people from Brazil started competing on the regular.
Oh, they had to
get rid of him.
They had to get rid of him.
yeah, because he's not the best he's a showman. And he wasn't really fighting nobody. I mean, love him or hate him.
Well, to be fair, and this is the problem I have with calling Dana a promoter. Dana did not build people to fight Spider. The same way I hold PFL, I like PFL, but the same way I hold PFL at fault. They're not building nobody to fight Francis. You need to be building at least 3 people. But go ahead.
No, it's not gonna happen. I mean, they got their people. It is what it is. It's WWE, except for it looks a little bit more legitimate.
Fully WWE.
And it's like all these people go through MMA and all this kind of stuff. Dude, if you that tough, like, dude, you think they want another John Bones Jones on their hands? Dude who just cannot be beat? Like, you really think that they want to have that in every single division? No. But see, people should have seen this coming a mile away. When the guy totally disregarded his fighters, this guy colludes to destroy other fighting companies with the media. He does that a lot.
A lot.
Vince McMahon was the pioneer of that, who did it with wrestling.
Yeah, but even McMahon didn't do it to the level that Dana does it.
Oh, no. Dana's out with it. He's out with it, doesn't care about what anybody thinks, and everybody just bows down.
It's kind of the same reason I hate Stephen A. Don't start talking about people contracts. Don't talk about who should get paid and who shouldn't get paid. Dude, what are you doing? You're trying to destroy somebody when you say that type of stuff publicly.
Because ain't nobody, well, his contract has to be out there because he's kind of where he is. But that doesn't mean that you get to control everybody else within the same space, though. That's kind of it's kind of weird. And so, I'm glad that we're at this point where it's this non-transparent about how much of a sport this is not.
You're probably the only dude in these spaces who can understand what I'm saying. So I'm gonna ask you the question that I play acted Hunter Campbell. So man, tomorrow, since you and Hunter are gonna have this guy to your left run everything, if it comes out 2-3 years later that some fighter did everything the right way and he fought a juiced up fighter, who's going to be liable, man, tomorrow?
But here's the things about drugs. If it's not done by a specific company, they can spike and destroy those tests. Remember, this is entertainment. This is not a sport.
Mm,
You're not tested by the state. If they want it to be real, it would be tested by the state. Because there's a lot of people who come back with high piss tests. There's a lot of people who come back with high blood. It's the hot blood, and are you making us money, and do we like you?
yeah. Hey.
It's both
look,
of those things together.
Look. Let me go to that point. I forgot I think the guy's name was Lopez or something like that. He was a light-skinned brother with an afro, and I think he was part Hispanic. John Jones had beat up his girlfriend for the 5th time. That's when he got caught in Vegas and arrested. Dana slapped his wife, and this particular fighter, who's probably like 15th in welterweights or something, he hit his girl, and Dana said, "You banned from the UFC."
Yeah, same week.
But said nothing to John Jones and nothing to himself.
And the media said nothing too. It wasn't just what he did. It's the media went along with it.
Right. Because
Sports
like I
media
said,
went along with it. Legitimate news companies went along with it. Everybody else, they would be trying to call for boycotts or nothing. When it happened to that guy, 100% silence. And this dude don't even advertise on the networks like that. They had no reason not to push the story. But all these people talk about capitalism. This is what capitalism is. They choose winners and losers all the time. There is no true capitalism. Just like there's no true fighting competition. There isn't. These are events now.
These are betting apparatuses. Yes. That's all it is. A vehicle to bet. It has nothing to do with honor and righteousness.
And true competition.
Right.
Because you would know who the top 10 is in every single so-called weight. It would be posted somewhere, right? If it was true competition.
Technically, yeah. Across the board. Across all companies. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about draws and this, that, and the third. And this is what happens when you have control over a sport. And it's not regulated by anybody.
But look, well, it's regular. It's regulated by the mafia in Vegas.
Yeah. Well, that type of regulation, of course. Like, yeah, you go down in the 5th, man, hard. Don't worry about it, man. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right.
just like when Aljamain Sterling lost his shit, right?
Yeah.
I was like, they had to pay that ref off because at what point is this guy not intellectually fighting back?
I'm like, okay, there's only one way you can go down guaranteed. Is that you just don't fight. You do all this training about defense, and then you just forget how to play defense.
Right. It's crazy, man. It's just like with algebra, because I used to Greco-Roman wrestle. And I came second for state. I told when I saw that Aljamain Sterling thing, I said he might as well just laid on his back to the bell rang. Because what's the point in trying to get up? You know,
because you're making people ask questions that they shouldn't be asking at this point. I mean, they got away with it better before, back in the day. Now they're just naked and transparent with it. It's almost like a joke and a troll to them. To just
it gotta be. They gotta go back.
It has to be.
They gotta go back to the office and laugh. So here go another one I gotta hit you with. So let's say somebody gets hurt. Well, I kind of already know the answer to this one, but let's say somebody gets hurt by a person that they cleared that was on drugs. Who's liable?
Well, you sign a contract and you don't technically have insurance.
And
you don't have an NFL Players Association that's going to fight for your quote unquote rights. So you don't there is no percentage to which you have equality there. He owns the whole thing. The whole thing.
You're going to be the record label, the distributor, the damn publicist and the copywriter at all in one.
And the radio station that decides who get played.
Yeah.
And whether or not you go on tour. All that. All that.
Crazy. Yeah. But you see, if a black dude had done this.
Yeah. And that's the only question you ever have to ask yourself. In every situation that's nonsensical. Wait a minute. If a Muslim had done X or if a black dude had done X, would this be the same level of quietness? And we already know the answer.
This is on a whole nother level, man. I said, wait a minute, because I'm up here, listening to Hunter Campbell talk about he felt so disrespected about what USADA had to say. And I go check out what USADA said. USADA said they just said nigga need to get back in the pool for 6 months. What? That's what got you upset? Oh, you needed for this fight to happen. You need to make this international Ireland money. That's what's going on.
Yeah, because these people get a check. 100 people is in the check. Now they tell you that you can't or won't or will not be fighting. That's a death knell to you. You got bills to pay. Remember, you got the high class girlfriend. You got the kid that you shouldn't have had. You got a publicist. You got a manager. You're just paying lawyers after lawyers after lawyers so that way you can walk in and fight for free. Damn near, right?
This is.
And then they tell you that you can't fight.
Well, see, this is my thing, man. Why did you have to get as Connor? Why did Connor have to get on the needle so heavy?
Bored.
A couple of shots would have strengthened your tendons. It'll make you feel like a melanated man, because that's the end of the day. That's what everybody wants.
Yeah. That's what it is.
It'll make you feel like
the Wolverine healing factor.
That's a good ass point. You want the Wolverine healing factor, but man, you look like your shoulders look like they on their 14th shot, man. Like. You was a skinny dude at first, man, and now you sitting up here walking around like Sabretooth.
Just compare them photos of like Barry Bonds from like the rookie year and the Barry Bonds when he was hitting 500 home runs, man. Oh, bro.
Man, look, and I'm out here in the Bay, man. When we first saw Barry Bonds come back, my father was telling me, "Oh, that's Barry Bonds." I was like, "Huh? Is that the father?"
How does your head get twice as big in like 10 years? How does that work?
Oh, man. I couldn't even explain that. It was like it was like, because Barry Bonds originally looked a lot like Ken Griffey Jr.
He sure did.
But when that dude got on the needle, I don't know who the hell.
It feels a needle, man. That thing looked like sewing needle, man. That thing's whew.
I don't know who the hell that dude was. I said, "Oh my God, this dude! Look at this dude's shoulders." Wait, has it been 1 summer or 8 summers? What the fuck?
Dude was like knocking the ball like a mile into the Puget Sound, and like nobody's not supposed to say anything. People could barely hit the Puget Sound. This guy is knocking it a mile into the Puget Sound. All right, man.
Okay. Now, over in Oakland, we let Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco get away with it because they came in looking like that, right? And so they had to self snitch for anybody to find out. But Barry was a skinny dude, man.
He was, man. He was.
That was crazy, man. But back
that dude was all of Snoop Dogg and looked all of like Sid Vicious.
Sid Vicious. Wow. Well, okay, so let's talk about this shady guy to the left. Okay. He looks disposable. He looks like he's there that if something go wrong, they can just blame it all on him.
I mean, he looked like a Saturday morning cartoon villain. Like he just looked like this unnamed villain that they're gonna throw under the bus. That he's the big guy of all this.
Right,
He's
right.
got to look trustworthy.
He misled us.
Yeah,
He misled us.
he's the actual kingpin.
Right, right. Let me ask you one more thing. I think this was kind of a setup too, but we shall see. See, Kamzat kept running from Usman for a long time.
And you could do that. You could do that in these type of quote unquote sports. You
Yeah, yeah.
conduct competition in sports.
But I think they set Kamzat up. They had him thinking he was going to go with because that little surgery on Paulo Costa's elbow don't look all that, and all it almost looked like some Play-Doh, to be honest. But now all of a sudden Usman pops in, and he's been training the whole time. That's the funny thing.
Dude, these people are like bodybuilders. They train 3-4 months out. They don't train like they know what's going on, man.
They
Like
know
because
what's
if you're
going
not fighting, you're not going to be staying in fighting shape year round. That stuff will put miles on your body faster than anything else.
right, right. That's very true. So who do you got for Usman and Kamzat?
Man, I don't know because you could go in there thinking one thing, and all of a sudden the betting money's the other way, and all of a sudden the guy pulls out a historic victory. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And that's why I just stopped with it. Like once I realized like what it was, like how long this Anderson Silva thing was going on, and I'm like, man, the dude didn't even look like he was in a crazy amount of shape to be out
not
there
not at
countering.
all, not at all. The only
And it's
thing,
like, and like the things he were doing was like, I don't know.
the only thing the Spider had was long ass reach with those
Yes,
little strikes from his hip.
yeah, that's it.
That's the only thing he really had. And like I can't even say I ever saw him pull off a kick. Uh and most of the other stuff was submission stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So
submission stuff, totally.
yeah, so you know, I
Which
don't
can
know.
also which is also, yeah.
Let me ask you one more question. So we got Kobe Covington and Leon.
Well, you want me to pick one out of that too?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts?
Man, like I said, man, I can't take none of this stuff seriously, man. I can't because right now it's social media draw, attention.
Yeah,
It's like that. It's kind of like WrestleMania. You know, you think somebody's gonna win, and all of a sudden the popularity boosts up because of a promo, and then all of a sudden this person has to go down, and then afterwards everybody's probably eating at the same table and chilling out, and man, you know, we got these guys again.
just like that Volkanovski. Wait. Just like that Volkanovski thing. Man, come on, man. Uh, all
That's why I
that
say
Russian, all the
I
Russian
can't take
dude
it
does
seriously.
is run. I mean, so what? What? God, it's crazy. All right, let me switch it up a little bit, man. Before you get out of here, uh, Biden has to pick, man. Is he going to back up Israel, or is he going to keep working with Ukraine? Because you can't ask the American people for more tax money to fight both these wars.
But not helping Ukraine is actually it's it's intertwined to the point to where the people know, like, listen, the Russian conflict is a steal for America. Remember, we spent $820 billion a year to not interact and fight Russia. Then you have a presented solution where you have another country showing you how intellectually deficient the military always was, even though we're spending all this money every year.
Hmm.
So they're going to fund both. And I think that Israel is going to go way too far, like they always do, because they now just declared everybody in that area an enemy, quote unquote, combatant,
Oh
which
shit!
means, yeah, that's today. It's probably gonna be declassified sometime soon. But
Look! Lebanon getting this shit. It's a wrap.
because here's the thing, they they haven't had people step in and step up and step on them like they could.
You heard about the airport getting hit in was it Syria or Lebanon?
Yes.
These people, man. Look, I don't know if they gonna make it. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not wishing it. I just don't know if they gonna make it, man. I don't know, because if you're one of these Arab dudes and this is the time to do it. There's no other time. This is the time to do it. And if all these countries form, because I think Iran is coming in through Iraq or coming in through Syria.
Yeah, and this is like Israel's not gonna be able to get away with this on this level like they did before. I think that they're really building up for a huge conflict in this area. We already have the makings of it already. Because once you start declaring everybody an actual enemy combatant, and that you just going weapons free on anybody when they already can't fight back. Because
Man.
remember, you never allowed supplies and resources through there in the first place, right?
Right.
So that way they can build it up. And these rockets and dude, all these are IEDs, pretty much airborne IEDs that they can just set off. It doesn't take a lot to build.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Having a gun doesn't take a lot to smuggle a gun. Doesn't take a lot. But at the end of the day, if you respond with overwhelming force and you start killing as many civilians, yeah, man, all this stuff's gonna go out the window and everybody else just gonna jump in.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
I saw some of the rubble today. I said, man, they're gonna make these Palestinians jump in, man. These Palestinians gonna be like, fuck it. This our opportunity. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, because once everything comes to the table for the negotiation for peace, that's when they're gonna have to start laying off on a lot of this stuff. But then again, you can't have an honest conversation about how this stuff all started in the first place. Because if you do, then the conversation's over. Okay, so how did they get that land based on the Holy Book? No one wants to have that conversation.
Nobody. I'm gonna be doing some videos on it. I'm gonna start with 1917 because that's what the Israel people like to use. But I can go back way farther than that. But I mean, let me put it this way. Here's my biggest evidence. 1932. I mean, 1932. There are 6% of Jews in that whole area. By 1935, so that means about 9,000 Jews, right? 3 years later, by 1935, there's 61,000. And Britain talking about we bringing 75 more. Now, mind you, this is before the Hitler War.
Way before. A guy who really didn't like him, right?
Right. So I'm making the point because, I researched there's some German Jews living in there in 1934. Yep. There's Russian Jews living there. You as Britain, you're constantly bringing in these people. So when the Arab Revolt kicked off, the Arab Revolt was not against Jews. It was against the British administration. It wasn't against Jews. Man, you
kept bringing these people in and having them be human shields. That's what it was.
Right. That's all it was. So then by the time you start getting into the prisoners of Hitler, now they bonding with the people that's there. Of course, they're going to form like Voltron. And I don't know, man. I just said to myself, man, Britain threw the rock and just hid their hand. They just hid their hand, but they never should have messed with it in the first place.
If they
I think
wanted peace, they would disarm both sides and ban both sides from having any type of military, just like we did with Japan after World War II.
that makes
Wanted
sense.
peace, yeah, because both of you have proven, no matter whether you have rockets or F-16s, and neither one of you know how to act. Okay,
That's a good
so
point.
no more weapons for either one of you.
At all. And let's took. And matter of fact, you could have even put a couple of U.S. bases there to make sure the stupidity don't escalate. Man.
That's part of
Yeah,
it. That is part of it.
yeah, yeah. The same way they did Egypt. Put some spots up there. So was there something else? Women been doing a lot of crazy stuff. Jeannie Maz is understanding where she went wrong. Uh Tia Mowry is complaining about the dating scene ain't what she thought it was.
You see, all these people think it's the '90s until they take their ass back out.
Right. just, just like one of my homeboys said, man, why don't you get you a girlfriend? I said, dude, I had 2 fiancés, dude. I've been in 3 5-year relationships. I'm just slutting it out now, man.
Guess what? You get to make that choice now. Once you get the
Right.
money together, you get to make that choice now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, I kind of don't want it because I'm good. I'm established. I'm good. You know, the chicks I mess with, they like slurping. They like being private. They like their little fantasy. They like being. Why would I want to mess that up with a relationship?
When they can walk out as soon as they walked in with everything,
Right. They can
they
leave at
remove
2.
the need for themselves. And it's like, when you're not on the receiving end of this internalized disrespect, it's different when you get back out there years later.
Right. Right.
Because you have to understand, nearly 100% of the men that they step to, that can actually get. Now, just like how dudes with money can't just step up to pretty chicks and get anything, women with status can't just walk up to any type of dude and get anything either.
No.
They were never prepared for that. Never
No.
prepared for it.
No. They thought the house, the money, and the car was going to lead to obedient dudes. Total reverse. Total reverse. It's still making them, because even in the professional circles that I'm at, these women still be dating tank top Tonys.
Oh, yeah.
I
They will
mean,
bring them to defense parties. They'll drop them off. They'll let them look stupid in front of everybody. It's a humiliation ritual.
humiliation ritual. I never forget, man, the chick working at the hospital. She's a basic Betty, but she had some dude obviously younger than her. He came up there with a hoodie on, a purple hoodie with marijuana leaves all on it. I said,
Only do dress their way around people in pure suits.
oh my
And just
God.
turn them loose and just let them walk around and humiliate themselves.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say to you. So this is one of the reasons I don't believe that in our community, ladies should be running some of these organizations. I think it should be guys. And I get mad at guys when they be like, what about the women? We can't do nothing without the women. Because when the guys do that type of stuff, you make way for the women, and then the women make way for other women, and then next you know the women are taking it over. So I looked at BLM Chicago today. Man, 90% of that is Latin women and white women. I saw one brother, and he probably a question mark, and I saw 3 sisters. Everybody else is either Latin or white. So Fox News was getting mad because they put out some post about Palestine. I'm like, all you had to do was see the people. But then what made me matter is the Black Lives Matter Chicago people deleted the post once it became popular. I'm like, strategically, why would you even put that up there? I don't get it.
Everybody's trying to stunt based on the moment. They don't care about long term, nothing. They don't care. That's why it's hard for established men to actually deal with these people who ain't established. Because if you're not established, you're going for the attention all the time. You don't care about who get hurt, who get harmed,
Right.
long
Yeah.
term, nothing. The only thing you try to do is get yourself on. So you just gotta
Yeah.
leave those people behind. Leave them out the conversation.
It's crazy. All right, let me get back to work, man. Much appreciated, brother. I'm gonna be dropping a couple other videos on a couple other topics, but much appreciated. We'll have to do some more politics, brother.
All right, cool, man. All right.
Catch you on the next one.
All right, later.